Okay, audio should be synced up. Hi. Welcome to Devlog number 1. Alright, so today we're talking about everyone's favorite and most exciting topic, organization. And I know that's the most interesting topic in game design by a wide margin. I know. But to make it up to you guys, I'm going to do the Minecraft video on Saturday. To all 2 of you excited about that, keep your eyes out. Alright, so over the last week or so, I've worked on doing some pre-production organization for my game. And the thing that inspired this is I'm in college, and I have a game design class right now, and one of the topics we covered recently was, and this is not at all a headache and thoroughly enjoyable thing to talk about, design matrices, which are essentially a way of organizing information about your game related to the actual mechanics and programming of a thing. And that's a pretty general description. So, to give you an example for this kind of vague concept, I have an idea for an item, right? Call it like lead pipe or something, an item that you can like pick up and use in the game. So I go in and I think, well, what stats might lead pipe have? Damage, maybe. If you're throwing it, maybe it's how much damage it deals when you throw it. Maybe if you want to have guns in the game, you have an ammo count on top of those 2 other values. Like, each item in my game has the same set of values, and it just changes based off the item. And I'll put something on the screen right now showing that. I swear to God, this is interesting to me. So, the other little bit of organization I worked on was the thing called a product backlog. And a product backlog, and to a lesser, well, not to a lesser extent, a product backlog is a component of a thing called Scrum, which sounds like a made-up word, because it is. So Scrum is a system of team organization and project organization, designed by some guy at some point. I don't know. I just learned about it this week. So a product backlog, right, is a piece of a system called Scrum. And Scrum is a system for project organization. And the core concept behind Scrum is that every couple of XYZ periods of time, usually a couple of weeks, you have a thing called a sprint. And the sprint is that block of time at the start of which you set a bunch of goals that you are going to complete by the end of it. So it's essentially a way of chunking a project up into smaller bits. So a product backlog is a list of all of the features that you want to have in a thing. So in a game, that would be like mechanics, enemies, levels, music, and stuff. Pretty much everything you have to do to finish the project. And you put all of these to-do list items in the product backlog, and then every couple of weeks you take out a chunk and say, this is what I'm going to do for this sprint, and you put it in the sprint backlog. And then every session, I guess, that you're working on the project, you would take items out of the sprint backlog and say, this is what I'm doing today. You would put it in a category called doing. You would do it, and then it goes to finished, and you get a little dopamine boost, which is nice. And you go through the whole sprint backlog like this, finishing out every item, and then you finish the sprint, after the however long you decide your sprints are going to be. And then you say, cool, am I on track to finish this by XYZ deadline? And then you do your next sprint and your next sprint. And you keep doing that until the project is done. So I've started setting that up. I don't have all of my features in yet because this game is still very early in development, but I'm going to show the document at some point. Probably already have. I don't know. We'll see how I edit this. And the other thing that I've been doing is designing some enemies for the game. Now, I'm not making the functioning enemies yet because I just haven't gotten around to it. In fact, I might start making these devlog videos 2 weeks apart instead of 1 week apart. Yeah, because developing anything of interest in less than a week is not going to happen because I'm in college, as previously mentioned. So I put together a list of enemy names, pretty much, like not even concepts, just names of enemies that felt like they fit the theme of the game. And I've started taking from that list of names and concepting out what that enemy is, essentially. So, like, right now I'm trying to figure out the enemies that are going to show up pretty much wherever you go, regardless of the type of location. So, the first one, and the one that I have the most art for, so is probably going to be featured the most in this, is the Hillbilly. That's probably not the final name for him, but this is a guy who is part of the bad guy cult in my game, Northwoods Cold Case. And he is kind of wimpy. This is like your basic pushover enemy stock. Every FPS game has one type guy. Like, he's just a guy. That's his thing. And the reason I'm starting with him is because he's going to be the most fully featured enemy, probably, because he'll be the most common, if not him, someone like him. And because of that, I can, once I have him completely built out, I can kind of just take his script and cut out bits and add bits based off what I need for future enemy types, which is going to make my life a whole lot easier in the coming weeks. And that's kind of it for this week. I mean, pretty easy little sprinty sprint thing here. Yeah, Minecraft video this Saturday, hopefully. Sorry I didn't get it out this weekend. I recorded the whole episode, but my mic wasn't working correctly. So I gotta re-record it, which kind of sucks. Also, sorry for this video being late to all 2 of you who care. Like and subscribe. Bye.